Zion Williamson recorded the first 30-point game of his NBA career, and it only took 9 games. In the Pelicans' win over the Trailblazers, he shot 10 for 17 from the floor on his way to 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, proving over and over again that he's just too explosive, quick, athletic, and good at moving in space to be stopped by opposing defenses. Now, on one hand, we say, boy, he's doing this in just 9 NBA games. But on the other hand, we can say, it's only been 9 NBA games. So, Stephen A., can Zion still win the Rookie of the Year at this point?
I think he has a chance. I think he has a chance, and I'm shocked that I'm having to say that, but I definitely think that he has a chance. Here is the reason why. It's the combination of these two things. Number one, he's already been sensational. He's averaging 21 and 7. We see them climbing the charts, but here's where it gets very, very interesting. Max, they've won 3 straight and 6 of their last 8. They're 23 and 31. They're 4.5 games back of the 8th seed. And who's the 8th seed? The Memphis Grizzlies. Who's leading them? Ja Morant. And so we've been looking at Ja Morant and the way that he's been balling, and it's been a foregone conclusion because Zion has been out. The way that Ja Morant has been balling, that he inevitably will win Rookie of the Year. But a funny thing happened. Just last week or a few days ago, if I recall correctly, New Orleans handled Memphis considerably easily. And so when you look at it from that perspective, as they continue to climb the charts, if they ultimately end up capturing that 8th seed because Zion is playing lights out, it would have to be to some degree at the expense of Memphis, who's holding the 8th seed as we speak, which means that somewhere along the way, if Ja Morant falls off, and Memphis, as a result, follows suit and they fall off, and New Orleans elevates, captures the 8th seed with Zion playing the way that he plays, who the hell you think is going to vote against him? They're not going to vote against him for Rookie of the Year. So the key here in all of this, for this particular segment, is to send a message to Ja Morant. And this is a beautiful message because we're not being negative about either of them. Both of them are sensational. I've been incredibly impressed by what I've seen from both of them, and I'm proud of both of them. But for the purposes of just competitive fervor in basketball, SOS to Ja Morant. Zion Williamson is coming. So is New Orleans. What you gonna do about it? Because you got the 8th seed. You understand? You got a pretty damn good team. I like what I'm seeing from Memphis. What are you guys going to do? And in particular, Ja Morant, what are you going to do? Because Zion Williamson and the Pelicans are coming. They look like they can make a run, and it's going to take Memphis being able to hold them off, and Memphis can't do that without Ja Morant balling.
Well, listen, am I one to say I told you so? Well, yes, I am, as a matter of fact. I told you before he turned pro, Ja Morant was a surefire NBA superstar. I thought that there was Zion and Ja, and then everyone else. Ja has proven me right about that and has proven many others right about that.
Well, everybody said that.
He is, I believe you were arguing he's not a surefire superstar, Stephen A. But we can go back and look.
Who?
17. If the tape says I'm wrong, I will stand corrected.
We can get the tapes.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
30.
I'm saying, what did I say? I'm asking
you said he's
you,
not
what
a
did I say?
surefire superstar. You can't say that based on what you saw in college. No, Ja.
Ja?
Yes.
Oh,
Ja.
I thought I said, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
you might be right.
listen,
You might be right. You might be right.
Or you may be. We can check.
The
point is that I know what I said.
you might be.
The point is that he don't have to do a damn thing other than he's been doing, Ja Morant. He's averaging 17 and 7. You could talk about hit a rookie wall, except he's doing it in under 30 minutes a game. He's doing it in under 30 minutes a game. Ja Morant is this close already to being an elite point guard. Elite. This man was compared to Russell Westbrook coming out because of his aggression, but I never saw just a pure Westbrook comparison. I know what they meant about the aggression, but he also had like the patience and rhythm of like D'Angelo Russell. Who? Westbrook meets D'Angelo Russell, 2 opposite kind of players, and somehow this guy is that rolled into one. Ja Morant is special. Now, is Zion Williamson even better? Yeah. Zion Williamson is a physical freak. He was a man among boys in college, and in the NBA, he's a monster among men, right? When you drop 31 and 28 minutes as a rookie in your 9th game. Is there a higher league than the NBA that Zion Williamson that someone can challenge this dude? It's ridiculous. But Stephen A., people get suckered by the All-Star break like it's the midway point. Only 30 games left. There's not enough season left for Zion. If he were twice as good as Ja Morant, okay. But he's not. He's better. There's no such thing as twice as good as Ja Morant. He's not going to catch him. There's just not enough time. Too much of the season went by.
Well, listen, what I'm saying to you, Max, is this. Here's where I think you're wrong. It is enough season if they catch Memphis, because what I'm trying to say to you is this. If Ja Morant was in the Eastern Conference, right, then that's a different ball game. He ain't catching Ja Morant. Here's the problem. They're both in the same conference, and they're both battling for the same thing. So if Zion and the Pelicans elevate themselves and they catch Memphis and knock Memphis out of the picture, they're 4.5 games back. They were more than that. A game about 2 or 3 games ago.
Yeah.
If they end up catching Memphis, and for some reason, and I don't believe this will happen, but if Ja Morant falls off and Memphis falls off as a result, and Zion continues to ascend, and the Pelicans ascend with him. Remember, J.J. Redick shooting 46% from three-point range. You got cats like Brandon Ingram. He's an all-star, averaging 25 a game. You got Drew Holiday doing what he did. The other day, he made Damian Lillard look human. Damian Lillard only had about 21 points, for crying out loud. You still got Josh Hart and all of these boys here. All I'm saying, Lonzo Ball and them. I'm saying to you, if the Pelicans continue to ascend with Zion,
I hear you.
Memphis descends.
No,
then that's
I hear
a different
you.
ball game.
I hear you. That will put Zion number 2 in the Rookie of the Year. But Ja Morant, who's shooting 50% from the field and 38% from 3, who, when you talk about true shooting percentage, Stephen A. 538 had this. And you look at the number of guys with his usage rate who are that efficient offensively, it's guys like the Greek Freak. They're like 6-7 other, Luka, 6-7 other players in the league that are doing what Ja's doing, and a handful of them are MVP candidates. So I hear what you're saying. And if Ja Morant was not as good as he is, you'd be right. Zion could catch a lesser cat. But this ain't no lesser cat. He's real.
Guys,
but here's the problem. But hold on, Roz. Max is forgetting something, and Roz, I would dare say, as somebody that covers the NBA, you might be forgetting something as well. We religiously talk about those young players hitting a wall. Ja Morant has been playing all season. Zion has not.
29.
So as
under
Zion
30 minutes
ascends,
a game, Stephen A.
What if Ja Morant were to hit a wall?
Right. So, Stephen A., we understand what you're saying about
sorry for the wall.
The race for the 8 seed might be a good indicator of what these rookies are doing.
I don't believe he will, but it could happen.
For the Rookie of the Year. But another way we often compare people in the MVP race, we compare their supporting cast and their teams. So which of these 2 rookies has a stronger supporting cast and team? Ja Morant or Zion? You
know what? It's hard for me to say because the Pelicans look different with Zion. When we watched them, they were struggling early in the year, but ultimately, again, Zion has been there. They won 6 of their last 8 games. I'm just looking at Zion with Redick, with Brandon Ingram and those boys, the coaching of Alvin Gentry. I appreciate the coach, Taylor Jenkins, the job that they're doing in Memphis. I really, really do. And maybe I need to pay more attention to some of their players because I know they've got some talent. But right now, if I had to just look at it, I would say New Orleans.
By far. By the way, I don't think that this is to Ja's credit. They do not. Jaren Jackson, apologies to coaching and the other players because they have some pieces. This was supposed to be a really bad team. On paper, there's no way they should be in the 8th seed. That is the effect of Ja Morant and the job he's done because the Pelicans on paper are way more talented. The Pelicans have some crazy studs on that team. Brandon Ingram is not even
absolutely.
Brandon Ingram is 25 points a game playing defense, hitting threes, multiple positions.
In fairness to Memphis, considering they got a new coach, considering their young squad, I don't think we've paid nearly as much attention to Memphis as we have to New Orleans.
You're right,
to judge
then you had Drew Holiday and
who they are and what they're made
of.
Players. Name recognition.
We got to wrap this up, guys. But I definitely think, to Ja Morant's credit, the rise of the Grizzlies is really in part to what he's been able to do this season. All right, still to come, yesterday's appearance by Knicks consultant Steve Stout sparked some controversy that included a response from the team. You won't want to miss this discussion. And up next,